Hello guys, so this is our new video on a basic question which many people might ask. What is trade? So for you to better understand what is trade, we'll start by looking at the definition and then we'll proceed to the different types of trade that we have. So by definition, trade means the buying and selling of goods to make profit. It's very easy, not complicated at all. So let's look at the different types of trade that we have. Okay, so mainly we have internal trade and external trade. So we look at each of these separately. So the first one is internal trade. Okay, so internal trade refers to the trade that takes place within a country. For example, a man buying and selling within a country. Okay, so for you to understand this better, let's look at this example. Here you have, as a country, you have Australia. So at one end you have a bicycle seller, and at the other hand you have a buyer who wants to buy a bicycle. So when they trade between each other, that is, when the buyer will buy a bicycle from the bicycle seller, this means that it is an example of internal trade. Great. Now let's proceed to the two types of trade which is found within internal trade. We have wholesale trade and retail trade. So wholesale trade is just an explanation of what wholesalers normally do. So it simply refers to the buying and selling of goods in bulk, okay, otherwise in a large quantity. And retail trade is simply the buying and selling of goods in small or convenient quantity, like independent retailers do. So the other type of trade is external trade. So what is external trade? That's very easy as well. So external trade is, of course, the contrary of internal trade. It refers to the buying and selling of goods between countries. Okay. So here there is a transaction between individuals, groups, or even organizations between countries, not only in one country. The example given here is a man living in Mauritius buying a car from Turkey. So to better understand external trade, let's look at this example. So here you have two big countries, okay, Madagascar and Australia. So in Madagascar you have a buyer, okay, and in Australia you have a bicycle shop. So the buyer wants to buy a bicycle from the bicycle shop which is found in Australia. Great. So this is an example of external trade. To make it easier for you to understand, there is trade now taking place between Madagascar and Australia. Okay, so it's very easy to understand, which means that there is trade between two countries, Madagascar and Australia. Right, so this is external trade. Good. Now, external trade can be divided into three parts. We have import trade, okay? So what is import trade? Let's look at this first. Import trade is simply the buying of goods from other countries, okay? For example, a man residing in Mauritius, he wants to buy a car from Turkey. So this will be an import trade, which means that there will be an importation taking place. Now the second type, the second part of external trade is export trade. So export trade is simply the selling of goods and services to other countries. For example, a man living in Turkey now, okay, selling his car to a man living in England. So for Turkey, this will be seen as an export trade. Great, because the man is exporting his car to England. Very good. And the last one, you have entrepot trade. So what is entrepot trade? Entrepot trade is very simple. So it is the importation of goods from a country so that we can re-export it to another country. It's for you to understand it better, it's like a transit, okay? So For instance, an example can be in terms of a man buying a car from inland, okay, and exporting it to Brazil. That's it, guys. So if you think that this video has helped you to understand the concept of trade better, so just don't forget to like and subscribe below so that you can be kept updated about our upcoming videos.